Morning, folks. Today we are going to learn La Bamba as performed by Richie Valens. I think he recorded this in 1958. This looks like what I got on here on the page. Hey, this is going to be a really fun piece. I actually wrote out two versions of this. I wrote out one that's is mildly syncopated, and then I've also got another version of this that is like ridiculously syncopated. I'm offering up both for some of you. For my silver string students here in the Brown County, we're going to go with the mildly syncopated version. Nothing terribly demanding of us here other than watching our timing. We're going to play the first line, and those two measures get played a total of 3 times, and then we're going to jump in on the melody. When you see, in 3 different cases, you'll see at the end of a measure it says optional, and there's parentheses around 3 beats. Let's talk about that for a second. Those measures, the first one you're going to see is at the end of line 2. The timing on that is 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay. Once again, that full measure looks like this: 1, 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay. You have the option of skipping those last 3 beats and just resting through the rest of that measure. It would sound like this: 1 and 2, 3, 4. Pretty simple, okay? So that happens 3 times in the song. Put those bass lines in. That's the bass part that I've added in there. Put that in there if you feel it. If you don't feel it, don't worry about it, because I plan to have someone playing bass on this the whole time through. And we will address that as well as the chords after I do the main lead page here. Okay, at the very last of the page, down there by Richie's picture, at the end of that last line that gets repeated, gets played twice, it says repeat to the star. It means go all the way back up to the top. And you can do this song as many times as you want to do it until you're just sick of doing it, especially if you're in a big group of people. When you're ready to be done, go back up to the star, up to the very top line, play that 1 time through and end on the fine, which is just the open D chord that starts the second line. Okay, clear as mud. How about we turn the metronome on and get started on it? We're going to come in on the and after the 3rd beat of the measure. Let's see what the timing is going to feel like at that 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 1 and 2. I think that's going to be about right. I've got that set, looks to me like I've got it on about 66. So this will be kind of slow, but you want to learn it. You want to play along with it eventually. So we're going to take it slow. Here we go. Hold on. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. This is our 2nd time through. Here's our 3rd time. Second line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3. Back to the star at the top. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we end on the Fine. Okay? Now I made a mistake there a couple of times. There's so many ways that you can play this, and here's what I'm hoping for you as a group is that you'll get the feel of this, and those of you playing this lead part that I just played are just going to kind of be playing together, and that syncopation is going to happen in a very natural way. Okay? Now, that last section, ba la bamba, that part, I really sort of watered that down. The way I've written it, this is the very last line before you see the bass dulcimer part down there at the very bottom. That part that repeats 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now you and I both know there's a little more syncopation on that. The first beat of the second measure of that would recur on the end of the 4 on the measure before it. I drove myself crazy when I first started this out. Let me play that last line that I'm talking about with a little more feeling. 2, 3, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, so when I tab stuff out like that, like I said, I have another version of this that's highly syncopated, and I will gladly send that to you if you would like to see it. My opinion, and I've talked about this before, is when you have something, you're learning a piece that's really, really syncopated, it's more about the feeling and less about playing note for note, repeat line, da 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 da, syncopated note here, eighth note, rest, blah blah blah. It's less about the mechanics of it and more about just following the music and playing by feel. Okay? All right, now let's talk about the chords for this, because ideally you're going to be able to split up into 3 different parts if you have 3 people. If you're only one person, I don't recommend splitting up into 3 different parts. Just saying. Okay, so the chord player is going to play D, G, A, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, G, 4, A, 2, 3, 4. So the D and the G each get 2 beats, the A gets 4 beats. Now you're going to find that you might get into a little syncopation on these chord changes too. If you do 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, that would be like the heavily syncopated version of it. Let me do that for you again. We'll turn the metronome on. Let's turn the metronome up. Let's get it up around 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm switching a little bit ahead to make it more syncopated. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay? Now you can straighten that out and you will be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If that's what you got, that's what you got. And that's a good thing to have. Now you can also do it with your regular chords. D, G, A. D, G. So that's the really watered down version, and that will work fine even if someone's doing what I'm about to do again. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that goes through the whole song. The whole song is just that. Now, the bass part that someone can play, it actually repeats through the whole song too, and it sounds like this. It's at the very last part of the page, it says bass dulcimer. Now when I write for bass dulcimer, I'm mostly writing for my star student, Nisa, who has a bass dulcimer, but she's got it tuned DAD, so it's easy for me to write tablature out for her. If she had that tuned in a different tuning, I would not have the time to write bass parts out for her all the time. So if you've got a bass dulcimer and it's DAD tuning, you can play this part. You can actually play this part if you've got a regular dulcimer. It just won't be that octave down, okay? And if you don't have a bass player in your group, by all means assign someone this bass part on a regular dulcimer, okay? The bass part is, and again over and over again through the whole song, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, ba 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 ba. Okay, bass player is going to play that over and over and over again. All right, put all these parts together and I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. Again, don't get really uptight about the timing of it. Play it by feel. If you've got people playing slightly differently when it comes to where those lead notes come in, I think it's going to be a party. So just have fun with this one. I hope you enjoy playing it. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to send you the tab if you go to karabarner.com and request it. Okay, thanks so much. Have fun with this. Bye-bye.